Welcome back to the Paris Weightlifting Preview Show. Today we're going to be talking about the men's 102 kilo category, the women's 81 kilo category, and the men's super heavyweights, the plus 102s, as it is called at the Olympics rather than the 109s. I'm joined, of course, by international man of mystery, international coach and commentator. It's Max Aita. Max, I think the 102s is the most difficult category to call of the entire Olympic Games.
Yeah. Without a doubt, this is the hardest one. I mean, there's so many unknowns in this one.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think the reason being, and we'll run through all of these athletes, but the reason being is that we haven't actually seen all of them compete together at the same time.
Yeah.
There have been, whether it's Akbar not coming down, whether it's Meso being injured, or whether it's Lesman not even really lifting, we've just not seen them all go head-to-head, so it's hard to know. But let's run through them quickly. So the men's 102 kilo category, we have, in order from heaviest total to lowest, Liu Huanhua from China, Garik Karapetyan, Armenia, Meso Hassona, Qatar, Akbar Djuraev, Uzbekistan, Yauheni Tsikhantsou, athlete independent, Lesman Paredes, Bahrain, Davranbek Hasanbayev, Turkmenistan, Irakli Chakidze, Georgia, Donna Palogi, Samoa, Wesley Kitts from the USA takes the continental slot. Then we have Mustafa Abazriba takes the universality spot, and then we have Romero taking the refugee spot. So it's a tough one to call.
Yeah, this is so. I mean, you said it all right there with just not knowing what everyone's going to do as a 102. And it's you would look at it from, in my opinion, you look at this from the overall quad that we've seen and think it might be obvious, but that's just because it hasn't really happened. This session,
right,
in my opinion, this session has not happened yet. Almost every other session we've seen up until now, we've seen everyone who's going to be at the Olympics basically competing against each other.
Yeah.
But this is the first one where I think these athletes are actually kind of meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
All in the same session.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, we have two Olympic champions moving up and down.
Yeah.
Meso coming up, Akbar moving down. Liu Huanhua was below them at 89.
Yeah.
I mean, Lesman was 96. There's so much that's happened here. Let's maybe kick things off with Liu Huanhua. He is the world number one in this category, and he's the newest athlete, really, competing. We know so little about him. I mean, he turned up in Bogota at the first competition as an 89, as the number 3 ranked Chinese 89. Tian Tao and, Tian Tao didn't compete. Li Dayan was an 81, to be fair, but we knew he was going to come up eventually. Yeah. So really, Liu Huanhua was kind of like, your China's number 3. Like, good luck. You've got a competition here because, the other two aren't lifting in this comp. But once they come back, you got to move. And he did have to move.
He moved a lot.
Yeah, he did have
89 to 102.
Yeah. He hit that staggering 215 in Bogota, which was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a big clean and jerk. But by the time we got to the Asian champs in Jinju, he'd already had to go to 96.
Yeah.
Because the other 89s from China were setting world records in that category.
Yeah, he is Liu Huanhua is probably, if I was to think about all of the athletes we've seen, let's say you take like Solfrid, Olivia, Hampton, as athletes we're seeing a lot of progress. And really it's like Olivia, Solfrid are probably the two standout, have just moved their totals up time and time again.
Yeah.
Liu Huanhua is right in that group.
He's the other
He's
one. Yeah.
also been growing his total significantly. And he's done it because he's gained over 10 kilos plus body weight. So it's interesting to see that he actually you almost kind of forget that he's actually grown into this class by a lot.
Yeah, I mean 32 kilos is the increase in his total since the start of qualification. I mean actually more if we include the Asian Games, which aren't a qualifying competition, but he hit 418 there, so that's actually 37 kilos he's improved.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, he then turned up at the World Championships in Saudi Arabia, his first competition as a 102, and he won. Yeah, and it was just like, he went 5 or 6, 180 in the snatch,
and
which
wasn't
was
he
massive.
Wasn't he kind of a light 102 there?
98 he weighed.
Yeah, he was really small.
And then he hit 224. in the clean and jerk. He took the gold. But I think the competition that really stunned everybody was the Asian Games in China.
Yeah.
And China was getting kind of ramsacked by North Korea, who just returned. And so, they lent on him a little bit. He competed as a 109, but weighed under 102. But because they didn't have that 102 category, he counted as 109. So he was 100.8 kilos.
Yeah.
And he snatched 185 and he clean and jerked 233. And that total he still hasn't beaten, 418. But when we talk about, what can he do at this Olympics coming up, you can't just think about his 413 from Thailand.
No.
You have to think about his 418 from Asian Games, because that's really his top level that we've seen.
I think that's probably a good call. That my guess would be first is going to be in that range. 415 would be the mark, I'd say, is probably what people are going to shoot for.
I don't think anyone can win under 415.
Yeah, it's like that's you're going to have to do those numbers, otherwise you're just not even going to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously he smashed it at the World Cup. He set the world record with the 232 and the 181. And had he made that 186 snatch as well, which was pretty close, you know, he'd have had a pretty big total there. 418 he'd have made as well. So, crazy stuff. And it's interesting because he beat Akbar Djuraev in that 109 class at the Asian Games, weighing as a light 102. So that he's got that psychological advantage.
That's true.
Because they haven't competed since. But he lost to Meso at the Grand Prix in December. So Meso hasn't competed against him since. So Meso believes, when I've spoken to him, there's this psychological thing where he's like, last time we competed, I won. So next time we compete the Olympics, I'll win again. Yeah.
That's an interesting way of thinking. I mean, obviously more power to everybody, but I think that's looking at the totals and looking at what everyone's abilities are. Meso versus Liu Huanhua, clean and jerk for clean and jerk, I would say there's a battle. But that snatch, I mean, Liu Huanhua is snatching over 180.
Yeah, I love Meso. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with the guy.
He's a great guy.
I don't think he can clean and jerk with Liu Huanhua.
Yeah.
What's the most we've seen from Meso? 228.
Yeah, that's true.
2019 Qatar Cup.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen him do 232 in training.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I think we should move to the number 2 ranked, who will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, very much.
It's not Akbar. It's not Meso.
No.
It's not Yauheni. It's not Lesman. It's Garik Karapetyan.
Yeah.
And Garik is just, he's sort of snuck under the radar to some degree. We've loved him and been watching him for a long time. And we like this guy, but he's not in the weightlifting lexicon in many ways.
No. Well, he's only ever done one total over 400.
Yes.
Right, that 401.
But crucially, Meso, Akbar, and Yauheni, their best totals in this category is 400.
Yeah.
So when he did the 401,
it's a little
he
statement.
basically
I think so.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
It was just like, let me move ahead of them and show that I'm number 2.
Yeah. Garik is an exceptional snatcher.
Right.
He's not bad in the clean and jerk, but he's just, he's in that sub 220 range.
Yeah.
So can he, even with let's say he goes 3 for 3 in the snatch and does 88, 188,
88.
He's still just, you can't give up 10 plus kilos in the clean and jerk.
I think he'll open at 180.
I think so, yeah.
180, 181.
Yeah.
Jump to 86, and then
that would be huge.
88, 89, maybe take a shot at 90.
I could see
Depends how
that.
much he feels like he needs to try and hang with Lesman.
He's, it's a weird thing too because there's no medal in the snatch.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of there. You're going for the total. Does he go for a little more conservative move and give himself some room in the clean and jerk? Because a lot of guys in this class are big clean and jerkers. They're strong.
I just feel like we'll do our predictions later, but I feel like I don't think he can medal. No. I feel like even though he's number 2, I think we've seen him give his best, whereas I don't think we've certainly not seen Lesman's best. Yeah. Akbar we've not seen put in a big total as a 102. Meso, it felt like he was poised to do something massive in Thailand before he got hurt.
When you look at, it's funny you say that he's number 2, but he's probably not even going to medal.
No.
Because when you really look at it, what you just said, if you look at the top, minus Liu Huanhua, you've got basically, 4 or 5 guys here at 400.
Yeah.
but those 400s aren't really indicative of what their abilities are. So even though the pack is all there at the same number, when they get there, and that's why this is such a hard class to sort of figure out, because it is just so unknown, even though we've seen them all compete many times, not in this exact scenario.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let's move to the next guy then. Meso Hassona totaled 400 kilos, but when he was a 96, he totaled more than that. I mean, he did 404, I think, at 96.
Yeah.
So we know that there's more that he can actually do in this weight category.
For me, Meso is the most known quantity here.
Yeah.
We know he's not going to snatch over 180 or much over 180. Like,
I mean, he hasn't. So, that's
fair. Like, he's probably not going to do. We can't count 185 in there. It's going to be at the most 80, 81, something like that.
82 would be third attempt.
Monstrous.
Absolutely smashed.
Yeah, absolutely. Best day of his life. Clean and jerk could be 230. Could be in that range.
Again, he hasn't done it.
And he was looking incredible in Thailand, and unfortunately in the training hall, got a little excited, went for that 230, and then hurt his leg.
Yeah.
That's the other big question. What shape is he in? He's been training, I'm sure. He's coming back, but it's a question still.
I did a little interview with him in June.
Yeah.
I think it was 8 weeks out from the Olympics is when we had the chat. And he said today is the first day I went overhead.
Yeah.
But also,
but he's in shape. He's strong.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I catch up with him, we have a drink or something, he always says, I've trained for 3 weeks for this competition because I'm so hurt, or I've trained for 5 or 2. Yeah. And he's always said, give me 8 weeks of no injury, just training, and no one could beat me. And he might have had that 8 weeks this time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'd love to see, I'd be thrilled if he won.
I would, that would be a wild victory. And to give him credit, though, I feel like what you just said is how I think we've seen him at every meet this quad.
He's always been hurt.
Or he kind of rolls in and you're like, has he trained for this?
Yeah. And
kind
often
of
he
shows
hasn't.
up. Yeah, he's kind of does like a 170 in the training hall and maybe misses 75, but he's like
215.
Totally happy. He's like totally casual,
because he knows, I'll train for the Olympics.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe we see a totally different Meso. Maybe that 8 weeks is enough, and he's just ramped up.
And he loves to put on a show.
That's true.
When he competed at the Qatar Cup in front of a home crowd, he beat Liu Huanhua.
Yeah.
So and he hit that 400 total, and he hit 400 kilos, and you don't have to lift. This sounds awful to say. You don't have to lift that much to hit 400. In that like he snatched 176.
Yeah.
You can beat that, and then he hit 224. So you just think, well, you could do
one more in each of those.
I mean, what's his best? The best outcome for Meso is 182.
230.
230. 230. Give him I'd say 230.
230.
And that's 412.
Yeah.
That's a medal.
He looked. What did he do before the 230 in the training hall in Thailand? 220.
He did 220 clean and jerk.
It was really solid.
He powered 210.
Yeah, I think he was trying to power clean 220, and it pushed him down.
Really?
That's what I thought he said. He
went for the
he was like, pulled on 220 like he was going to power it, but it wasn't going to happen.
I've got these videos right here on my phone.
And it was a full clean.
Yeah.
But it might have been that his intent, it wasn't going to happen. But the 220 was strong.
Oh yeah.
You have it.
I'm getting it.
So
I'm getting it.
So I say that in the sense that if he was going to he did 180. So he did 180, 230. He's got a 410 total in the training hall in Thailand. No injury on the platform and competition, all things equal. Maybe there's a little more there.
Right.
But that's a tough one. He's like I said, the most known quantity in my opinion of these very top people, but also there's still, even with that, there's still a question of what shape is he in, what can he do, is he hurt?
Yeah.
Does he have any kind of apprehension about a big weight? Little pain, you might feel it.
I've got the 220.
Yeah.
I wonder if the camera can even see it. I'll just hold it there. You'll be able to see it from there.
You got to go back.
Is it? No, that was just, here we are. So the 220 looks pretty good.
That was very solid.
Right? Does he jerk it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an easy.
Yeah. But then the 230
opener or even last attempt,
which
last
I don't think
warm-up.
this has been seen.
The 230.
This is unseen. This
Yeah, I don't
is
think
when he
anyone.
injured himself.
We didn't play it. Yeah.
Should we show it?
It's
not brutal. I mean, it's not brutal.
I saw it in person, but
So here we go. This is his 230 attempt, which is absolutely enormous, and he looks so strong based on that 220. So it was understandable that he went for it.
oh, that's it. Yeah.
And then and it was his
That was
adductor and his
strong.
hamstring.
That was strong.
He shouldn't have done it, you
No.
know, and he
Didn't
got
his-
carried away, and he knows he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah. I talked to him after, and
Yeah.
yeah, but he's such a positive guy. He's just got
So
such
positive.
a great demeanor. He's so much fun to be around.
Yeah. The darkest horse, I think, in this whole category is Akbar Djuraev.
Okay.
Because I know, so obviously he was extremely heavy when he did these numbers, but he has benefited from having done 205, 250.
Yeah.
And then obviously as a 109, he was like a 196, 239 guy.
Mm-hmm.
He really only knows how to win. I mean, if you look at his competitions here, gold, gold, silver, gold, bronze, gold, 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 silver, gold, gold.
Yeah.
You know, he's an Olympic champion. He's a multiple-time world champion. At his most recent competition, I know he was a 109, and he was basically a full 109, but 189 snatch, 227 clean and jerk, declined his third attempt, totaled more than Liu Huanhua with an attempt remaining. But he's heavy.
Yeah, this is the thing with Akbar, in my opinion. He's done those big numbers. He's I mean, you know, what was it, 446?
Yeah.
As a 120-ish lifter. He's been there. He has all of the experience, all of the tools. I feel like when I saw him in Thailand on the platform,
Yeah.
the lifts looked tougher than I expected. Like he wasn't, you know.
It's not 2021 Akbar.
Yeah, he wasn't smashing them. And I would be way more bullish on that if he had weighed like 104, 105.
Yeah.
He's like 108 and a half, which to me is like that question of.
That's a big cut.
Yeah, it's like, let's say he diets off a couple kilos.
Yeah.
And then he cuts 4-5 kilos. That's a lot. And what does that do to him in the competition? Does it may not do a lot in the snatch, but it might shave off one attempt in the clean and jerk.
Right.
It's going to have to be lower. So does he have that wiggle room to like be the guy who takes the last clean and jerk for the win? And he has every other tool. He's been there. He's done bigger weights. He's a winner. You know, can he put on the bar? Yeah. Question is, does his body hold up? Does he have the strength to do that final big clean and jerk? And it could be. That's the thing. It's like, if you're going to put your money on anyone, it'd be like, he's the guy who could do that.
Well, I'm not saying that I think he's going to win, but what I am saying is, I can't see him with his mindset not being a medalist.
Yeah.
He's just.
Oh, for silver.
Even silver, yeah.
He's there, yeah.
I feel like he's going to. If someone said to me, he has to make 229 at 102, I'll give that to him.
Yeah, I would say that.
And that's huge, but I'd give him that.
Yeah.
I'd fancy him for
and
229.
He's a good snatcher.
He's a good snatcher.
So it's a question there of like
85-29.
Akbar and
414.
You know, Akbar and Liu Huanhua are basically the same. Very similar numbers. Liu Huanhua I'd give a little more edge in the clean and jerk.
Little edge in the clean and jerk.
But basically there, I mean, they could be matched kilo to kilo in the total.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
I think that's going to be tight. I do think that's going to be tight. A few other people to touch on quickly.
Yeah.
Yauheni Tsikhantsou. He's just phenomenally strong.
He could put the winning clean and jerk on and clean it and jump a foot off the ground when he does it.
Pop
and
it
then,
at the top overhead, but forget to lock out.
Yeah, just miss the jerk.
I mean, he snatched 183 a couple of times.
Yeah.
He took the gold, I think, in the snatch at Worlds. And then his last two meets, he's hit 217. He's tried 225 twice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to get that this time, but he's certainly somebody who can. I mean, he can go over 400.
If they take the approach of gunning for bronze and saying let's really attack the bronze, I could see him getting there. If everything worked in his favor.
I don't think so. I still don't, because we've still got
I guess
Lesman.
the snatch is So Lesman's Lesman is the one that is just the biggest question mark.
Yeah. Go on, you go, Lesman.
Lesman is. There's a trap you can fall into where, Lesman's not done more than 4 lifts at any meet we've seen.
He did 3.
Yeah. 3 in Thailand.
And he totaled 400.
He doesn't do all 6.
Or 399 or something.
So, give him 2 more lifts. This is the thinking you're going to go through, is this process of give him 2 more lifts, and we add 4 kilos on each, or 4 or 5 or something, like and you've got this giant number, 410 total, 412, 413. The question is...
He can snatch 190, Max.
He can. The question comes down to, are we just giving way more credit to these extra 2 lifts that he hasn't really shown? I mean, his best clean and jerk is 215 in international competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've heard he's done maybe 220 in
training. As a 96.
He has 96. We've heard he's done 220 in training.
Yeah.
But he's still not a guy who's done, like almost everyone else in this list, 220 plus.
No, he's not going to
internationally again and again and again.
So he's the only one who can do 192.
So he snatches 92.
World record.
220. That's a 412 total.
That's
it gets him. It gets him there.
Max.
That gets him there. But is it?
That might not even be.
Is it enough? And that's also assuming that he's going to make
every lift,
and something we just haven't seen. So it's not so much that I think he can or can't. It's just a giant question mark of what happens when Lesman goes for 6 lifts.
He doesn't have the benefit of taking
a
clean and jerk to medal.
Yeah, and I think that's just one of those.
He has to set the total, and then you're going to have Meso, Akbar, Liu. Maybe even Yevgeny.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not Garik, but they're going to have attempts to just they can decide whether they want to try and move ahead of him or not.
Well, think about this: you're in a situation where you're the weaker clean and jerker, right?
Yeah.
And then there's 3 guys waiting for you at let's say 219.
Yeah.
You do your 215, thinking you get time. Everyone bumps up. Now you're 220 with a minute left.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But I mean,
when you're not a strong clean and jerker.
Lesman has made every snatch opener of his career.
He's a great lifter. It's just that question of what can he do,
He's only missed 3 third attempt snatches, and the last time he missed a third attempt was 190 at 96. I mean, that is so ridiculous.
That's huge. I think when we saw him at the beginning,
and then the only other 2, that was 2016.
Wow.
So in the last 8 years, he's missed one. He's missed 1 snatch in 8 years.
Yeah, but again, we haven't seen a lot of third. We haven't seen a lot of.
No, we've not seen them.
He's not taking them.
I mean,
but
he does not take lifts if he doesn't want to get hurt or something.
And this could all be a totally moot point because he could be phenomenally capable and just go in and make a 6 for 6 day and just crush a lot of people. I just don't know. And that's that's what makes it so exciting for me. Is you don't know what he's capable of, and this is the time if you're going to do it, obviously this is the one.
Yeah.
You're going to go all out here. You've got everybody. They're all going to do that. And so it's I don't know. To me, I'm really excited to watch him because I want to see a really big snatch.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see well over, the 190 mark.
Yeah.
And I want to see him go, over 220. Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, I think a few special mentions then that we're going to have to do. Jang Yeon-hak.
Yeah.
He totaled 399. I think you just credit him for having lifted so much. He outlifted his teammate to get into the Olympic spot. But I think we saw him have his best ever performance. He's not going to suddenly do 185, 225. There's just no way he has that. I don't think he'll probably even hit that necessarily. I think a great day for him, he'll be content with 180, 215.
Yeah, he got there.
395, I think he'll be happy with. And then the other guy who we need to mention, Devranbek Hasanbayev.
Yeah, he snuck in.
He could hit a 190 snatch.
Oh, yeah.
What did he hit in Thailand?
I want to say
it was
the
gold.
183?
187.
87.
He took the gold in the snatch.
Yeah, and then he clean and jerked. I think it was
205.
205. And that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
He had one. I think he did one, right? He
Right,
made one.
one.
No
and then
more.
he missed 207 twice. He took a 2 kilo jump.
I think he just pulled them too.
He took a 5 kilo jump from first to second snatch, but a 2 kilo jump from first to clean and jerk.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. And missed. Shout out to Hassan Bayev. Irakli Chikidze, you know.
He's there.
He's there. Yeah, we like Chikidze. He's got the Georgian power. Don Opologi is frightfully strong.
Yeah.
I think he did a 230, could have been more, hip snatch. Sorry, hip clean.
Wow.
Might have been more.
Yeah, he
could
is
have been 235. I'll have a look.
Powerful.
See if I can find that.
Yeah, we've seen some of his social media stuff, and he
hit some big lifts.
Very, very strong.
I just don't know if he necessarily has it all.
Yeah, they're kind of two different things, right?
230, he did 235.
Wow.
I mean, that's over the world record.
235 from the hip.
Okay, that's the 30. This is the 35. I mean, just look at this.
It's like a little.
I know it's totally
clean.
different, but even so. Come on, Don.
Really
is it frozen?
Yeah. Or he's waiting for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think the video just freezes. Trust me, he did it.
Yeah.
So, Wes Kitts, turning up to his second Olympic Games.
Yep.
Romero, I want to shout out.
Yeah.
Huge fan. He lives just down the road. He was here at Weightlifting House a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Really great guy and a strong lifter. He's got over 200 kilos now in the clean and jerk. He's like a mid-60s guy. So I think he's going to do well for the refugee team. I think we have to do our predictions.
This is tough.
This is the hardest one, and I've got in our book, I got what we wrote down a few months ago.
I'm gonna say.
I mean, gold. We're both surely gonna say
Liu Huanhua.
Liu Huanhua. Yeah.
I think, like I was saying in the beginning, he's on such a trajectory upward, and the Chinese team doesn't make mistakes. It's very rare. So whatever they're doing, it's going to continue on. He's going to continue moving upward.
I agree.
I think we're going to see a big total. I could see something outrageous coming from him.
I'm going to choose silver. I'm going to go Akbar.
Okay.
Because I believe that he has both.
Yeah. I think
he's kind of, he can snatch well and he can clean and jerk well. Whereas when I look at some of these other athletes, I'm still, in my mind, I can't work out third, but Lesman's a snatcher. Meso's a clean and jerker. Akbar's both.
Yeah.
He's the best of both worlds. I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
I trust him to get in the 80s, high 20s.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him as a silver medal.
I would agree with that now.
Really?
I would say Akbar, like for the reasons you said, because
I hope I didn't just change your mind.
No, I mean, I think it's different than what I said before.
Yeah.
But I
really?
do think Akbar is, like you said, it's the question for me is Meso and Lesman are just, it's too foggy to know where they're at.
Right.
You just don't know. It's like, are they at their, is Meso just only going to be capable of 410 or even, is that what he's capable of? Or is it like 175, 225?
Yeah.
What do we get out of him because he's coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Lesman, same thing. What do we get out of him? We haven't seen it. I would probably put. That's a tough one.
Bronze is so tough.
I kind of lean towards Lesman because I feel like that big snatch is going to give him a lot of leeway in the clean and jerk. You can get just a couple more kilos out of that, maybe 220.
I feel sure that he'll have a 10 kilo lead.
Yeah.
Over Meso in the snatch.
Yeah. And I don't know if Meso with the leg, with everything else, are we going to see a 230-ish clean and jerk? But it's like it could literally go either way, Meso or Lesman. Either way.
It could go either way. And I'm going to say that it goes. I have to go off. I have to use my brain and say Lesman bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, well, if Meso can hit 182, the reality is he's never made over 178 in competition.
Yeah,
he can't. He doesn't. Maybe he will this time. I hope he does. I hope he shows me that I'm wrong.
Well, it's like if you think...
If he hits 82, sure. Yeah, I think you could maybe beat Lesman now. But if you snatch in the 70s, it's just, you're not going to do it.
And if you think Meso does 82 in the snatch, you have to think Lesman might do 22 in the clean and jerk.
Right. If you're giving them that much,
if you're giving them that much leeway, then they're literally almost equally matched there.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, let's see. So last time you put interesting.
How
You put
off?
Liu Huanhua.
Yeah.
Silver, you put Meso.
Okay. Yeah.
Bronze, you wrote Djuraev and Lesman. You didn't select between them. You wrote Djuraev's name first, so
Yeah.
I'll say you went Liu, Meso, Djuraev.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're going Liu, Djuraev, Lesman.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking with Meso there, but I think it was because we came off of Thailand. And I was thinking he looked really strong.
Amazing.
But now thinking more about it, I'm and Djuraev still he has to make this cut.
Yeah, Djuraev might not take the silver. I wrote Liu Huanhua, Akbar Djuraev, and then I wrote Meso/Lesman. I wrote Meso's name first, so I'm gonna
Meso.
assume that I put him in my mind as the main guy. So now I'm switching him for Lesman.
Yeah,
but it could go Akbar, Liu, Garik.
I mean, yeah, it
could be.
I mean, it literally could. That's not an insane outcome.
Or Liu, Yauheni, Garik, Akbar, Lesman, Meso.
Yeah,
there
could be a bomb out. You don't know who, right? Like there could be any number of weird things.
Yeah.
I mean, Liu Huanhua's, he's not the greatest snatcher.
No.
He's missed him, right? He could be a little bit down.
Yeah.
Could be forced to a big clean and jerk for a win, end
Absolutely.
up in silver. It's so tough to know.
It's very difficult.
This will probably be the most exciting session because it's just so up in the air right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, I think realistically, it's time to talk about the women's 81s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And guys, make sure you tune into our watch parties at weightliftinghouse.tv. Max and I and Nick will be watching the weightlifting, and we'll be bringing all of these stories and commentating the whole thing through for you guys. Head to weightliftinghouse.com. You can get the results there, and you can check out the Paris Weightlifting sale. Over 50% off certain products, sales on every product. Okay, so the women's 81s.
Should we go through the names?
Yeah, let's run through these names. Okay, so we've got Neisi Dajomes, Olympic champion, Ecuador. Sara Ahmed, world champion, Egypt. Solfrid Koanda, world champion, Norway. Eileen Cikamatana, junior world record holder, Australia. Kim Soo-hyun, great fun, Korea.
Yep.
Damiana Medina, Cuba. Laura Amaro, Brazil. Eudalina Peguero, Dominican Republic. Monk Jansen, world champion, Mongolia. Regina Adeshbaeva, Uzbekistan. Veronika Zielinska, Poland. Then we have Ayalolo, universality spot. And then we have Yakta Gala, who took the refugee spot. Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely a separation with these athletes.
Yeah.
In my mind, there's a top bunch.
Yeah.
And then there's a trailing bunch. There are athletes who can go 115 plus in the snatch, 145 plus in the clean and jerk. They're the ones battling out for the medals. And then there's a pack below that.
Yeah.
There might even be a pack that's a 120, 150 plus pack. When you're looking at Solfrid, Sara, and Neisi on great days, that's possible. But you know what? I think even though we've got Neisi at number 1, I think we should start with Solfrid.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think she is the favorite, even though she's number 3.
Yeah, I mean, what did Solfrid do? 120, 160?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 280. 280 on this list is dominant. It's just unbeatable here.
And she can go over 120.
Yeah. And she's probably got more. Like we said, she's one of those athletes in that small group of people that is just making rapid growth and progress.
Yeah.
And over the quad has really grown into what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
The one caveat I would say with Koanda, same as Akbar, she has not been competing as an 81 a lot.
No.
She did cut down to 81 once, and I don't remember it being a particularly stellar performance.
So she cut down once, and it was at the Grand Prix in Cuba. She snatched 116. She clean jerked 150.
Yeah. Which wasn't bad.
That's not
it's
bad.
Very good.
But I don't think that will win.
Yeah. No, that's not going to be enough.
But she also missed a couple of attempts. She's better now.
Yeah.
There's more pressure. She'd still be my pick, but
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Solfrid, when you look at her results, 2021 European champs, she totaled 235, and now she's up at 280. 45 kilos she's put on her total. It seems like almost every single meet she gets better. 160 is a top clean and jerk now, 123 her best snatch. She's actually a very consistent athlete. She's made 77% of all of her third attempt clean and jerks.
I mean, she's fantastic because she'll show up. 280 is probably not going to be where she ends. She'll be above that, is my guess, if she has a great day.
If she has a great day, yeah.
She could go 2260 something.
Can she take a shot at the world record? 164, I think it is. So 165 would do it.
I mean, I could see her. She'd have to have won to make an attempt at it, or need it for the win. So yeah, it could be there. Unless they play it very conservatively and just go kind of lift for lift, holding a little bit in the tank. But yeah, I mean, I just see her being too far ahead of everybody else. Yeah, if she performs, and she will. I mean,
since 2022 Europeans, she's won every competition except for one, where she bombed out in the snatch, the world champ Saudi, and then she came back and hit a 156 clean and jerk, which was
that's huge.
30 kilos more than anyone else in the category. I think something like that.
And then she did that 280 in Bulgaria, right?
Yeah.
Which was
amazing because she missed that second attempt snatch at 118 and then went up to 120, then hit the 160.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm her and I'm looking at some of these other athletes, I'm thinking, okay, I don't have to beat Neisi in the snatch.
Yeah.
I can, but I don't have to. I'd love to see Solfrid open up at 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Jump to the high teens on a second attempt.
And then
take a stab over 120 on her third attempt, 121, 122.
Yeah.
Just to be in there. And then, if she opens up on 150, I think that's gold.
Yeah. I mean, Dajomes' best is 46 in the clean and jerk.
Yeah. 23 snatch?
Yeah. 123, 146. So that's going to put, that's just like
your
best day ever is not going to be enough. And that was in Thailand, right?
Yeah. She did great in the snatch.
Best day ever is still 11 kilos shy of Solfrid's best day, which is probably not her best day ever. Right. She's going to do more here.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean Neisi can't. Maybe Neisi is in better shape here. She's made improvements, so it's like there could be, but I just think that gap is probably insurmountable.
Yeah. I mean, Neisi, she's a Pan Am champ, recent Pan Am champ, the World Cup champ, Olympic champ. She has been incredibly dominant around Pan America, all these different, the Ibero-American competitions, Pan Am champs, Pan Am Games, South American this, Bolivarian that. I mean, she dominates all of it.
Yeah.
But when she gets to a point where she's going up against some of the top in Asia, potentially, some of the top in Europe, it's her clean and jerk that can be the letdown.
Yeah.
Because she's a mid-40s. Mm-hmm. She's a low 40s. On a great day, gets a mid-40s clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And when you've got someone like Solfrid who can smash 160 or more, even a Sara Ahmed, who we'll talk about, then Dajomes is, she can medal for sure. She could even get a silver potentially, but I just don't know if she's going to have that Solfrid in her.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the math's not mathing. You can't squeeze. It's not quite like the 102s. You can't squeeze out a few kilos here and there. It's kind of
we've seen their performances.
Yeah, we've got it there.
Sara Ahmed then.
I mean, to me, Sara Ahmed is essentially a slightly reversed Dajomes. A little bit weaker in the snatch, a little stronger in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, 117 is the most we've seen from her.
And it's going to be a similar thing. She's probably the most veteran here, is my guess.
2012 African Junior Champs.
Yeah, so she's gone through a lot. We haven't seen her compete a ton this quad. She's been there, but we're not seeing, a growth of numbers meet to meet to meet. So yeah, and any kind of stuff that she's holding on to as far as injuries or little stuff that's beat up, like probably going to be weighing on her. I'm not saying she can't do those numbers. You got to factor in that she's the most veteran here. So
yeah,
but that does weigh into competition. She might take better attempts.
Oh yeah,
they might be smarter and just kind of wait and let someone like Dajomes try to beat. Try to fight it out with Solfrid in the snatch. Then maybe she can sneak in and get some high teens.
I mean, something that's worth mentioning is that she's undefeated since 2018.
Yeah.
That says a lot, you know, because that says, like, how much could you do? You must be holding back. If you're winning everything, you've not actually been pushed. You've not had to compete against a Solfrid.
Yeah,
so maybe there might be a few more kilos.
There's two kinds of undefeated. There's
Yeah,
there's the undefeated because I wasn't there with everyone else, and then
Yeah.
there's the undefeated like a Naeem or a
Yeah.
Ilya,
Yeah.
right? Head to head with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what this is going to be probably another good session, similar to the 102. It's just like there's going to be some battles. I think for sure Koanda's there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the battle is really going to come down to Sara Ahmed and Neisi.
Yeah, and also, I mean, this sounds a little harsh, but the quality of competition that Ahmed has competed in isn't quite to the same level.
Yeah.
Because whenever she goes to a world champs, she moves to 76.
Yeah.
Non-Olympic. It's easier.
Yeah.
And then when she goes to 81, it's, African champs.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So, yeah, she's undefeated for quite a while, but...
So, here's a question for you.
Okay, hit me.
Cikamatana.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts? Can she medal?
Yes, she can medal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she can definitely medal.
Well, do you think she's got a shot in the medals there at that bronze? The one thing I would say with Cikamatana is consistency.
One day she's going to have that
yes.
day.
When does she get that? Is there a meet where she goes 6 for 6 and we see...
I don't even think...
Or 5 for 6.
She needs 6. Yeah,
4
or 5 for 6 could be the one.
Yeah.
She could... 15:48. Where's that going to put her, do you think? 263.
Well,
is that going to be a medal?
That's where she's at now. So it's like...
Yeah.
She's taken a shot over, I want to say 120, right at 119.
Yeah.
She took a shot at 119, wasn't there. But, if you look at this list, the last, almost dozen meets, not a successful third snatch.
No.
One successful third in Thailand, but that was a repeat of her second.
I mean, her opening snatch percentage is 60. That's a little low. 26 for a third attempts.
She's kind of taking a couple of attempts to make an opener and then not on the third.
Yeah.
She's when you put her in a room, her physicality and talent is off the charts.
Off the charts.
Like
she can do it.
Extraordinarily powerful.
I don't believe she can beat Solfrid.
No,
I think that's
not happening.
Eileen is absurdly talented, physically unstoppable.
Yeah.
But I think that Solfrid is the most physically gifted weightlifter in the world, basically.
Oh, really?
I mean, on the women's side, she's almost just like... She's been lifting weights for about 4 years.
That's true.
And when you look at her...
And you compare her to like a Reeves who's been lifting since she was young. A great weightlifter.
I mean, I might have overstepped what I'm saying there.
I don't know.
But there's something about Solfrid where you just think...
There's so much raw talent.
Yeah, like Solfrid can snatch 130.
Yeah.
Not now, maybe never. But if she just started younger, you can just see the way she moves and the way that she pulls on these weights. She has there's a world in which she totals 300.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would not be surprised if you said that Solfrid did 300 at the we fast
in 4 years
travel through time 5 years 6 years from now and someone's like Solfrid's 300 was the best
and
we
she's
saw.
an 87.
Yeah, that's a doable number.
170.
Yeah,
totally.
I mean these are huge numbers we're talking about, but yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But
she's not the best weightlifter in the world on the women's side. There are plenty of athletes who are better right now. The Chinese, North Koreans, or whatever. But there's something about Solfrid. We just think you are so she's talented.
Do you think she goes over 280?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think she goes over 280 here.
I could see that.
She seems like she's in a really good mental place as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a 22 snatch, 23 snatch maybe, and who knows if that 65 goes on the bar.
Right.
Wow.
65 world record attempt.
88, 87.
Yeah.
287.
Yeah.
Those are big numbers.
Yeah, those are massive.
All right.
So other athletes that we have in this category may be worth a mention.
Kim Seon, going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Kim was the one that I wanted to touch on just because whatever happens, she's amazing.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time.
And her battle, I mean, she had the performance of her life at the Asian Championships to move ahead of Kim Il-sung.
Yeah.
And we thought, you've done it. And then Kim Il-sung drops into the B session in Thailand and hits the meat of her life, moves back ahead. And then Kim Soo-hyun in the A session.
Do you remember her standing in the tunnel?
Well, they took her lift away from her.
They took the lift away. And
the jury intervened, right?
They came, that camera came right upon her, and you're watching this person, just like her Olympic dream is in the hands of the jury.
Oh.
And it was,
she collapsed.
Yeah. One of those sort of moments where you could hear a pin drop, just waiting, what's going to happen.
Oh, that was terrific.
Yeah, that was an awesome day.
Yeah, that whole moment really resonated with the weightlifting world.
Yeah.
I uploaded that just as a clip on YouTube, and it's got 722,000 views.
That's great.
And it's just this 7-minute video of her hitting the lift. They don't allow it, and then they allow it, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's so fun, and she dances off the platform, and at this point she's been competing for so long.
Yeah.
That she's sort of there for. She's there to compete, but she's there for the vibes.
Yeah.
She's there for the fun, isn't she?
She's good vibes. That's
good
the
vibes.
Understatement.
Yeah. 2011, she competed as an Asian junior, so she's been doing this for a long time. And she just hit her best ever lifts, 112, 144. Like, she's in the best shape of her life right now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome to see. Absolutely incredible. Okay, we need to make a few predictions then on this category.
Well, I would go first, Koanda. I'm going to put second. I'm going to say Neisi is second, and I would say this is tough. I would say Sara Ahmed in third, but I'm going to say that there's a distinct possibility the battle between Sara Ahmed and Eileen Cikamatana could happen. If Ahmed doesn't have the best day and Cikamatana has a great day, it could be a battle for bronze, but I would probably lean towards Sara Ahmed unless we start and there's, right off the bat, maybe her back is a problem or something.
Yeah, so definitely I'll go for Solfrid Gold. And I do find this next bit tricky because I think that Neisi will snatch 20.
Oh.
Or more even. But I think she'll hit 20, whereas Sara 17.
Yeah.
But I think that Sara Ahmed is going to get 151, 152, 153 in the clean and jerk. So I'm actually going to go Sara Ahmed silver, Neisi bronze. So I'll reverse those two. Reverse those two. You went
I
Neisi,
said Neisi,
Sara?
then Sara, yeah.
Okay, so our predictions from back in May. You had Solfrid. Sorry, I had Solfrid, Sara, Neisi. So I've stuck with it. And you were Solfrid, Sara, Neisi. So you've reversed them.
Yeah.
After a little bit of thought.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair shout. I think that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final category that we have to touch on.
Oh.
The big daddies. The big boys, the 400-pound Goliaths.
Big daddies.
Yeah, the big daddies. It's the men's plus 102.
Is there anyone strong in that session? Is anyone good?
No, not
Let's
really.
see.
Yeah. Well, they can't even snatch double body weight, as the comments love to remind me.
It's
which,
more
of course,
impressive
is a hallmark of being a good weightlifter.
It's more impressive to see someone with abs and who is relative strength.
It's all about relative strength.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the the under 55s get so much love.
They get so much airtime.
They get all the airtime, yeah, because that's what it's about. Okay, so the men's plus 102s, for those who are wondering, of course, normally it would be the plus 109s, but the way that it works at the Olympics is there's no 109 category, so you don't have plus 109s, you have plus 102s. So let's take a look at these athletes and then talk a little bit about some of their journeys. In order from top to bottom, Lasha Talakhadze, pretty good athlete, 2-time Olympic champion, all-time world record holder in everything, snatch, clean and jerk total, Georgia. Gor Minasyan, Bahrain. Varazdat Lalayan, Armenia. Ali Davoudi, the big man from Iran. Man Assad from Syria.
The bigger man.
Well, no, actually.
He's not bigger
he's
than
not.
Davoudi,
No,
but he's...
Davoudi's definitely bigger. We have Mohammed Al Saeed from Egypt, Ali Amar Rubiawi from Iraq, the junior world record holder, Walid Bidani, Algeria, Aishiro Murakami, the champ, the man who took on the IWF and lost but still got to the Olympics. The tank. We've got David Leety from New Zealand taking the Oceania spot. And then, not quite sure how it happened. We reread the rules to try and work out why they're both allowed to compete here. But we've got Kamil Kuchera and Mart Saim coming in the basically 11th and 12th spot. They both placed 13th and 14th. I know that Edouard Ziazulin was removed. Why they added a second allocated space through reallocation.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, you never quite worked that one out.
No one ever explained it.
Yeah, sometimes the IWF doesn't have to explain their actions, it would seem.
Well, Tank Murakami would know that.
Yeah.
He would know that very well.
So, in this category, there's a man who has basically been the face, the leader of the entire sport for 9 years.
Yeah.
This is his 10th year where he's basically been the most dominant man. 2015, essentially, I know he lost in the moment, but
right?
He basically won really in Houston after the retests. And then 16, 17. I mean, this is his third Olympic Games. Lasha Talakhadze is, he's a giant in the sport. He has pushed boundaries, which is so much more mentally taxing than people probably will ever realize, like doing things that nobody's ever done. 225, 267, 492. He's a good, 14-ish kilos above anyone else that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Something like that, 16 maybe. What are you going to say about this guy?
I mean, what is there to say? He's done things that no one 10 years ago, no one would have. If you'd have told somebody that there's a lifter who's going to own almost every single snatch over 215 in history, one man, you would not believe that.
No.
I mean, he's done the fact that he's taken a 215 kilo snatch and made it a pedestrian thing,
right?
To where the fans, the athletes, just aren't that impressed with a 215 anymore.
Right.
It's a training hall lift. I mean, there's no one that's done anything like that in the whole history of the sport.
Yeah,
it's just insane.
He's a 2-time Olympic champ, soon to be 3 probably, 7-time European champ, 7-time world champion.
Wow.
I mean, he's absolutely amazing. And like you said, the number of times that he's snatched over 215, well, it's every competition.
Yeah.
Since he was really young.
Houston. 215 in Houston, right? I don't think he's gone below 215 at a competition he's been in since then. There might be one.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't think so. I think he's opening usually. He's usually making. I mean, I don't think I've seen him maybe miss only.
No,
a few
Houston
snatches.
He didn't do 215 because Lovchev did 212.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was behind Lovchev.
So
it was 2016
it was
Rio.
He did 215.
He did 215.
215, 258, 473 Olympic record
right.
gold.
So you've got 8 years. Yeah. Every meet you enter,
you snatch at least 215.
You're doing 215, which is basically where everybody else ends.
Yeah. And he's taken 215 multiple times as second attempts, and he's been over 215 multiple times for second attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taken 218, 217 maybe 4 times, 218 twice on his second.
Yikes.
Then he's been over 220, I don't know, 6, 7 times, 220 plus in competition now.
He did 223 in Tokyo, right?
223 in Tokyo.
So
225 in Uzbekistan.
Question here, I guess, would be,
is he going to outlift?
Is he going to take a
Rio?
shot at 224?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I'm sorry if I just sucked the wind out of the room.
It could be.
I don't think he's going to do 224. Yeah. I don't think he'll out total what he hit in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I think he'll beat what he hit in Rio. 473.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think he'll beat that.
You're thinking 480.
I'm thinking around 480.
220, 260.
220, 260 is unbeatable.
Yeah.
I really believe that. The best day you could ever give Gor, and we'll get to him, but that's going to be 20, 55.
Yeah.
75 total. Whereas Lasha, the way he hit that 215 in the training hall a few days ago, you've got to assume that he can go 220, maybe 222, something like that. And then I think he'll open around 210. 211.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a 208.
I'll see 212. I think he's going to go 212, and then I think he's going to go for whatever sets him up to get right at 220 or just over 220.
I'm actually going to say 209 opener.
Lower,
I'm going to drop the opener.
Interesting.
209, 215, 220.
212 would put him in a position where he could jump to
17 on his second.
17
and that's
and be absolutely ahead of anyone else. Maybe Gor has one lift after that.
Maybe.
But then
that's the lift we want.
We see a 221 if he needs it.
Yeah.
Right? So he's going to be ahead there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be 215 wouldn't be, it's just too big of an opener. It's not necessary.
Right. But the reason, I mean, he's had a tricky quad, really.
Yeah, it has been.
You know, in Bogota, he won, but we saw him with some, it almost looked like heart breathing issues. Like he was lying on his back. He had the oxygen mask on. To be fair, the elevation was very high.
Yeah.
He's a big fella.
Yeah.
So it was tough, but he won.
Yeah.
And then he went to Yerevan, which was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Insane
that was a
crowd.
Great meet.
You know, the big Armenian crowd with the 2 Armenian supers. And he won there again.
Yeah.
Went to Saudi, didn't lift.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Did lift, sorry. Went to Saudi, did lift and won, but hasn't competed since.
Yeah, that was the last one.
So
you said 11 months.
It's been 11 months since he competed. September 2023.
Wow.
He didn't lift at Europeans. He didn't lift at the World Cup. He was definitely injured, nursing some problems, resting up. But the way that he's looking in training at the moment in the training hall in Paris, I think he doesn't look 25-67 good, but he looks 20-60.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And just as a reminder to everybody, nobody else has ever done that.
Yeah.
If he does 20-60, that's the best performance you've seen from any man except for his best. No other man has done that. So we're talking about him not in his best shape, but he's still better than any super.
Still 12 kilos off his best total.
Yeah.
That's how staggeringly strong he is, how far ahead he is.
Yeah.
Well, the question then, this I think you and I are probably most interested to see this man, is Gor.
Oh, it is.
What does Gor Minasyan snatch at the Olympics? And really, the battle is really...
The Bahrainian.
Yeah, the Bahrainian. Gor versus Lalayan. This, it's a
historic battle. Those two are just great for each other.
And they go back and forth, and they were back and forth since 2022, Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
The Lalayan-Gor battle was one where it looked like, to me, Lalayan was the guy who was the favorite.
Yeah.
He could do 215, and he could go over 250.
But he would crumble.
Yeah, but he's never really done more than 250. And 250 would be a great lift for him.
He's clocked 217. He's clocked 218. And in his last 3 meets, well, he hasn't made a third attempt for a while. Actually, let's stick with Gor because he's number 2. We'll get to Lalayan. But Gor, you said he's the person we most want to see.
Yeah, because he looks,
he hit that 217.
And he tried a 220 snatch.
At the world champs, and it was close.
Yeah, it wasn't like he didn't clock it. He didn't just pull on it. Yeah. He went for it. And it's one of those, he's one of those guys where he went for it, and maybe it was there, but his positions are so awkward or just odd that if it was an inch further back, it might have worked. He might have had it.
You've got to see this guy in real life. His calves are like that.
Yeah.
And his thigh, this is no joke, his thighs are like this.
Oh, yeah.
They're just
huge.
like...
He's so thick.
It's insane how big he is.
Yeah.
And, he pulls on 220 like he's never learned how to do a snatch.
Yeah.
And somehow, he doesn't snatch it, he puts it above his head. He just puts it there.
What if before competitions he's all over Instagram and YouTube looking at tutorials? He drops in a book that's how to snatch for dummies, and it's got a bunch of Post-its, tabs and different pages, and he's just kind of perusing through.
Yeah. If there's ever been another man alive who can do 220 in competition, it's him.
It's absolutely. Has
anyone else ever tried it?
It was called for as an attempt at a Europeans by Krostev, I believe.
Really? Krostev?
But he never even came out for it, I think.
Okay.
That's what I remember someone told me that. But never.
I'm not shocked.
That's it. We've got...
Yeah. We've seen it in training from a few.
2 men who've tried 220 on platform. One has done it handily many times. The other man almost had it.
Yeah.
If there's one single lift I want to see in this Olympics, I think that him snatching 220 might be it. Maybe something from Carlos, but a 220, because it's something that's only ever been done once before.
Right.
So that would be really cool to see him take that. Will he? We don't know.
I mean, and he has, the thing with Gor is he has an anger that Lalayan doesn't have. You know, Lalayan looks very, almost too relaxed.
Yeah.
Gor, when you watch him in person, and he runs up onto the stage.
Yeah.
This big man, he sprints up, and he is like huffing and puffing.
Yeah, he's fired up.
And he just goes straight towards that bar.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if there's a loader there, he just flicks him away. And he just grabs it and goes.
Yeah.
And when we've seen him miss a clean and jerk and then come back out to go for it,
yeah,
I mean, that guy just turns on.
Yeah.
250 is the most, maybe, I think we've seen from him.
I don't think he's done more than 250. And that's the thing that's going to stop him. You know, he's not going to be able to get above. I mean, he can't beat Lasha unless Lasha, you know, has a complete meltdown.
Right.
But even his best ever aggregate total would be 467.
Yeah.
It's just 13 kilos behind what we think Lasha's going to do on a, I wouldn't say conservative day, but not a day where he's really pushing himself to the limit.
Yeah.
But
he's got all the Asian records, I think.
Yeah,
he
has to. Yeah,
I think all of them. So yeah, I'm very excited to see Gor. I really want him to lift well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The last time he competed was the Asian Champs, and I'll be honest, he did really badly.
Yeah.
He lost to Manasad,
but
he just wasn't in shape.
Yeah,
and he's going to be in shape here, and I think we can see him. It should be a Bahrain medal.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, they should be getting one.
For sure. And that's a question though. Is like, you know, are they going to go for a medal? Are they just going to say, hey, let's not even bother with some big snatch attempt?
Right.
Let's go for a medal. Just hang with Lalayan. Although he kind of has to, because they're pretty close in the clean and jerk. And I would say Lalayan and Gor head to head in the clean and jerk.
Lalayan's got a higher ceiling.
They do, but
Gor's got a better
250 is that mark, and either one of them could do it. 252 maybe could come from one of the two.
Lalayan did 52.
Yeah.
At Thailand, which is the most recent competition.
Yeah,
so that's the only thing we have to go off. But he only snatched 202. I don't know how that. I don't know why he was so low down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at, wait, did he do 250? No, he did 253. Lalayan did 253 and 210. Sorry, I was looking at Ali Davudi's numbers there. 210, 253.
Yeah.
And that 253 is big. Before that, he did 250. He's clean 255.
I guess in that world, you know, it's possible Gor does have to take a
very big clean and jerk.
A huge snatch.
Yeah.
Like he's going to want to get ahead because he knows he's not. Gor doing 253 just seems much less likely than Lalayan doing it again. I
mean, ultimately, if Lasha can go 470 plus, he'll win.
Yeah.
And that seems so easy when you put those numbers together for Lasha and you just say, okay,
it's a training hall lift.
Just go 1555.
I mean, what did he clean and jerk in training hall? 255?
Yeah.
So he's got a 470 already.
Yeah.
215, 255. Yeah. I mean, he's already rehearsed the performance.
Can you imagine if you saw Gor Lalayan hit 255 in the training hall?
That would be a different story.
You just be like, what on earth?
Yeah.
You see it with Lasha, it's like, yeah, okay, he looks all right.
Yeah.
You would never, ever,
only
ever see that from
Only 255, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so did we just... Yeah, we've sort of done Lalayan, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think a few honorary mentions here. Ali Davudi.
Yeah.
He is in many ways... This sounds so awful. He's like the most disappointing weightlifter in the world. He just had all this potential. There was this dynasty of Iranian supers. Ali Hosseini, Salimi.
Well, you know, he has the dynasty behind him. He seemed to have all the physical things. I mean, he's gigantic.
Enormous.
Yeah, he's so huge. But it's almost like the thing that's missing is just that.
He outweighed Lasha the last couple of comps. He's 182 right now.
He's a giant man.
182, 400 pounds. He's a giant man. But
we're
it's
just not like, seeing the total we need out of him.
Like, is he going to snatch 205 ever? It didn't look like it.
No, I mean, his best is 203, right?
He did hit 252, which is massive. That's a big clean and jerk.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the number of Badur Moulay, Rezazadeh, the number of supers that you can name from Iran who did 250 plus.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't even get you on the wall in the gym.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get you anywhere. But you got to shout him out because he's good. He's big and he could hit a big clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And then the other one who I think is actually dangerous is Manasad from Syria. I could just see him. I don't think he will, but there's a world in which he takes the last clean and jerk attempt of the entire.
You think so?
Session. Yeah, I could see him load 264 if it meant getting a bronze, and I don't know if he'll get it.
I mean,
but
that's 12 kilos over his best clean and jerk.
No, you need to see these train lifts that I've seen.
He's very good in training. He's got big numbers. Yeah, I will say that.
And also, when he did the 252, he declined his third.
Yeah. Could be. I would never say
outrageously strong.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
That would be a huge lift.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We have one man in this whole session that we think is. We know potentially is going to go over 260, but no one else is even going to touch it except maybe one other person.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll touch it if they for some reason to get ahead. I
mean, what I'd really love to see, and did we ever get it in the end, or have we just commentated on it almost happening a bunch of times, is 3 athletes at 15 in the snatch, 215. Did we ever actually get to commentate?
I think we almost had it in Yerevan.
I think it was Worlds 22.
Well, 22, we knew there was so many 200-plus snatchers.
Oh, so Worlds 22, if Gor had made the 216, because Lalayan's only made 15 once.
Yeah.
Gor missed 216, and obviously Lasha did it. That would have been it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make me the happiest, is if we saw 3 men snatch 215. If we see 2 men snatch 220, that's shocking.
Yeah.
And that's possible. Let's make some predictions.
Well, I mean, Lasha.
Nah. Lalayan. Manasad. Davoudi.
Tank's going to be up there.
Well, Tank's going to win, but the jury's going to take it away. No, Tank will do like 188,
he'll be opposite.
235.
He'll miss a lift, and they'll give him 10 kilos more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Lasha. For me, it's Lasha, Gor, Lalayan.
Agreed. I'll look in our little book to see what we said last time, but I don't think we'll have said anything different. You said Lasha, Gor, Lalayan. I said Lasha, Gor, Lalayan.
Yeah.
And I wrote brackets, Manasad. I even put numbers to it. I wrote Gor 220, 252.
Oh, that's, yeah. I
don't know. That would be amazing. Lalayan, I put 216, 250.
The question really comes down.
I don't think that's happening.
The question on that 220 comes down to who wants it more, us or him?
Yeah.
I feel like we really want that because it's just it would be such a historic thing. Not because it's 220, but because it's a number that was like just not even in anyone's mind, and now potentially we have multiple athletes doing it.
But he does want it.
Oh, I think
He's mentioned it before.
For sure.
Like, as in Esak has told us that Gor's interested in it.
Okay.
So, I think it could happen.
Yeah.
All right, that's the Men's Plus 102s. Join us at Weightlifting House TV for the watch party. Every single day we're going live for 4 hours, 6 hours on this day actually. This is Saturday, all of this stuff, Saturday the 10th. Head to weightliftinghouse.com to get all the results and check out the big Paris Weightlifting sale. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you all on the watch party.